အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါ MT Movie Channel ကနေပြန်လည်ကြိုဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ်ဒီကနေ့မှာတော့အရှင်ပညာကာရရဲ့ interview ထဲကအရှင်ပညာကာရဟာယဟန်ဘာကြောင့်ပြုရတယ်လဲဆိုတာနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဘာသာပြန်ပေးထားတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီအပိုင်းလေးဟာအပိုင်း1ရဲ့ session A ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်အားလုံးတူတူကြည့်ရအောင်ပါ
Bante, thanks so much for joining us.
Sadhu, Jet, Sadhu.
So I'll read a short biography of Bante before we jump into more questions. But Venerable Bante Panyakara is a Theravada Buddhist monk and former IT engineer who transitioned from a corporate career to a life of mindfulness and service. Born in Vietnam and educated at the University of Texas at Arlington, Bante Panyakara immigrated to the US in 1997 and took full ordination in 2010. So same year as me. And I think same birth year as well. Well, you're 81 and I'm 82, but
I see.
it's very similar. So took full ordination in 2010 in the lineage of the most venerable Ratanaguna, the last direct disciple of His Holiness the Venerable Vangsarakkhita, founder and first Sangharaja of the Vietnamese Theravada Buddhist Sangha. In 2020, he launched the Dhammachetya project to preserve the Tipitaka in a monumental marble stupa complex, a vision furthered by his 112-day, 2,100-mile ascetic Tudong pilgrimage across India and Nepal. That journey, chronicled in his memoir, The Footsteps of Buddhist Monk, laid the foundation for his most recent undertaking, leading the only very recently completed 2,300-mile, 108-day walk for peace from Texas to Washington, D.C., which most people watching, I think, will know you from. He is currently serving at the Hung Dao Vipassana Bhavana Center in Fort Worth, Texas. So, Bante, there's so much there and a fascinating life, an adventuresome life, so many things that we can go into. How is Aloka?
Yeah, Aloka is actually here. Aloka is very active. He's very active and he wouldn't want to stay at one place. He would love to roam around and then walk and things like that. And so his surgery, the doctor just came from South Carolina 2 days ago to check up on him. So he has such merit. I mean, people love him so much, and he just got been taken care of well by doctors and everyone. Really, I can't imagine his merit at all, because us from a stray dog, and now that is world famous ambassador. And so he has his own merits that we cannot know about. Right?
Bante, your act of going on the walk for peace rippled out to us very strongly too. We go for alms every morning at Pike Place Market, or most mornings, and ever since after you began walking and people began learning, people would jog by me and just make Anjali, people who never would have before, and we all heard a friend recommend that we get a dog, so we have our own Aloka. But Bante, one thing I wanted to ask, I really, this conversation for me is a chance to kind of, as monastics, for us to get to really speak about the heart and core threads of our lives in a way that, most interviews might not get to touch. And I wondered if you could start with just talking about the moments of faith, the key moments of faith that brought you into robes to ordain.
Yes, again. For my journey to become a monk is quite different, as we already talk about my bio, a brief bio saying that I was an engineer and things like that. So up until now, I'm not sure why I graduated. I'm really bad at math. Okay. And so after I graduated, and then I went to work for almost 3 years. And during that time of work, I feel like, is this really what I want? Is this a path that I want to continue on, or is it something else? because seeing friends and co-workers and everybody just like, it's really not real. It's fake. It's because when we talk about friendship, it's just purely friendship. That's what I always thought and expect it to be. But obviously it's not, is because of benefits. When benefits involve, then everything just seems like it's changed. And I question myself, is this really, and is it going to be everywhere, everyone, or it's just me? And so days after days of working, and then I see friendship and co-workers and everything like that, you know, people willing to step on us to climb higher. And then go home every day, work, and then come home, seeing my parents and my brother and sister. I don't talk. By that time, I really don't talk at all. Just go in my room, and then that's it. That's all day, and then all night. And seeing my brothers and sister also suffer with families' problem issues. And by that time, my family, just a lot of things happening at the same time. My father got into like a really bad car accident by the 18-wheeler. And then, but luckily they are okay. And then I rented a car for them, for my father and my mother. And then we hit that car as well the same week. And then we got a different car parked right in front of us and got stole same week. Everything just come to me just like, okay, is this really what I want in my life, or I want a different path? That is the time where my feeling is get, stronger and stronger, that I want to seek for something else. And one day during the noontime, peak noon, in Texas weather, we already know it's really weird. It's changing rapidly, right? We call weird weather in Texas, and the people here also weird. And so, being weird, I took off from work. I drove myself to the Hungdao Temple, which is the temple right now. Back then, I was a leader in the youth at the different temple in Irving, nearby to my workplace and my house. But when I took off work, I drove up here. It's like 30 minutes away from where I work. And then come up here, and I saw my teachers, Venerable Ratanaguna. He walk around under the hot sun, and then I follow him. Just walk behind him, and then certainly he stop and turn around and ask me, are you okay? What can I help you? And I just answer him, and I didn't expect this. I said, can I ordain to become a monk temporary? And he smiled and he said, yes, when? I say 2 weeks. Let me arrange my work and things like that. And then after 2 weeks, and I enter to the monastery, and then start to ordain to become a temporary, not a novice, just stay there, as before ordained to become a novice, stay there for a couple of months. And then I went home again to go to work. And then when I go to work, I feel like this definitely not what I want. I need to go back to the monastery. And I asked my teachers, can I come back to the monastery and then go to work during the day? And then at night, I stay at the temple to study and practice. And he said, yes. And I keep doing that for a while. And then one day, when I sweep the floor, sweep the yard when people cut the grass, mowing the grass, and I sweep it, and I saw all those grass that had been cut, and I imagined of my hairs, and I thought, these grass is just like my hairs. If I'm not shaving it, I feel itchy and very difficult for me with that feeling. But then I cannot, just like kilesa, right? Defilement. So, but I cannot eliminate it all yet. I cannot take it, remove them all yet. So I will put you here together and I will pick you up together and I will remove them all together later on. I just talk to myself that way. And then when I turned around and I saw one of the leaf, a very young leaf on the big tree by the gazebo. This gazebo is the first thing that my master built when he just first came to the temple. So this is a sacred place for us. And so the leaf, the young leaf just dropped down in front of me just like this, slowly in front of my eyes. And I look at that leaf and I see that leaf, I imagine of myself, this is impermanent. So the young leaf also dropped due to so many conditions, right? Weather and everything. How about my life? One day I will also die, regardless of how old I am at that time. So I will be the same. Then what is real? That I ask myself that way. And I throw the broom right there and then run in. And I saw my teachers walking back and forth by the parking lot again in front of the monk's residence. And I told him the whole story. He said, if you have that knowledge now, you're great. Okay, back then when the Buddha's still alive, the Buddha told people with just one sentence, one quote, and they became enlightenment right away. Or the lady, after listening to the Buddha taught, and then she took a shower, and then she poured the water from top of her head and down to her feet, and she became enlightenment. She realized everything and became enlightenment. Now you see the leaves falling, and you can realize that way. You're great. Then I was so happy when he said that, right? I say, then may I ordain to become a monk? He said no. He said no. And after that, I went home and talked with my parents, and they also say no. So 3 times like that, I asked my teachers and my parents, and they both say no. Until one last time, and he accepted it during the night time. Before that, he told me, for a student, if you cannot go to bed before your teacher, and you cannot stay in bed after your teacher's already awake. That's what he told me. So at 12 midnight, he didn't go to sleep, and he just walked back and forth in the monk's residence. So I dare to go to sleep, right? I just sat there and watch him walking back and forth. And I asked him, Master, can I ordain to become a monk? That's the last time. And I asked him, he said, he's very difficult. He said a lot of things. I am very difficult. Can you handle that? Can you bear with that? And I say, I need teachers like you. I needed teachers like you. And then after chit chat for a while, and he said, I already picked out the date for you, full moon of April, for you to ordain. And so tomorrow go home and talk to your parents. And then I was so happy. And then tomorrow comes, and I went home and talked with my parents, and they cried so much. I kneel down in front of them and they pay respect to them, and they cries, and I asked them one last time that allow me to ordain to become a monk, and they all agree. They all agree. There, my journey begins from there, just like that. But I never expected about ordaining to become a monk. I never had that thought before.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhante. That's a fascinating story. And yeah, it seems like your life is somewhat, until the present day, even somewhat similar to these seeming lines that I see in the history of the religious history of Vietnam.
Issue ပေးတဲ့ကြောက်ချဲစီရတဲ့ကျမ်းမပြောရှင်ပြီးပြည့်စုံတဲ့ဘဝမျိုးပိုင်ဆိုင်နေကြပါစေ။မှာတော့အပိုင်း တင်းရဲ့ဆက်ရှင်ပြီးကိုဘာသာပြန်ပေးမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ် MT Movie Record Channel လေးကိုလည်း subscribe လုပ်ပေးခဲ့ဖို့တောင်းဆိုပါရစေဆက်တူကတော့ MT ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်အားလုံးကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်ရှင်